I'm fully aware of what I'm worth, and I will never apologize to that for anybody.
Well, say that then, Steven. That man, f that. Hey, you know your worth. Pay the man. He worth every damn dollar.
Okay, so in today's video, we got to talk about Stephen A, Cam Newton, and Kimberly Martin. Now, remember, guys, we covered a video about 4 weeks ago, the last time Stephen A and Kimberly Martin was on First Take with each other. They were talking about the Tyreek Hill BodyCam footage video. And in that video, they had got into a back and forth debate about the Tyreek Hill BodyCam footage. Kimberly Martin was calling out the police. Stephen A. Smith was kind of trying to give the police a little bit of grace. Kimberly Martin wasn't going for it. Let's check that clip out again. It's going to put everything into context in today's video.
However, my issue lies with the fact that so many people, unlike Tyreek Hill, didn't have the benefit of hindsight. What should I have done differently? Ooh, if I had not done this, because they're not here to tell their story. The issue here is excessive use of force. I understand that, you know, we can talk about the window, we can talk about all these things, but ultimately the reason the body cam video and what we saw on Twitter Sunday morning, why it affected so many of us that way is because of how physical they were with him, how when he seemed to be compliant, how he was still treated. And so I think when I hear especially older generations talk about, you know, how to protect yourself, because these are the times we're living in, what that advice, while I understand it, it doesn't get to the root of the issue. It's we have to now brace ourselves for the world that is unfair. We have to change our behavior as opposed to talking about what the issue is. The world shouldn't be like that.
What happened? He was able to get through the situation. I'm saying to you, we can't ignore the fact that what we're asking for is unlikely not going to happen in a lot of situations. Most, yes, it will. Some, yes, it will. But in a lot more cases than not, what we believe should exist does not. And at the end of the day, I would rather us sit in front of the camera, in front of a microphone, on a podium, post-game, post-practice conference, or everything else, rather than somebody else speaking for us because we're in a coffin 6 feet under, because we put ourselves, because an officer that is not inclined to do what he was trained to do, we knew it all along, and we still going to antagonize him anyway. Hell no. Hell no.
Stephen A., everything you said, especially the incidents that happened to you personally and your friends, that's sort of my point. I understand the world I'm a black woman in America. I understand life is unfair and life is difficult, and there are different challenges that affect me in a way that they don't affect you and Jason and Molly. Like, those are realities. That doesn't make it right, though. And I think when you talk about Tyreek Hill, I wish he had said, you know, I should have acted differently sooner. Him saying that yesterday, I think it was mature. That doesn't change my stance on supporting what he is saying about how he was treated with the excessive force.
As a matter of fact, we were on the air with Dominique, and Dominique was saying this conversation should be private. And that's the only thing, that's the only way we parted ways. He thought it should be private. And I said, hell no. And then Molly jumped in because you got lives that you're trying to save.
Right.
I understand it. I'm like, yo, that's the priority.
Both things are true.
Okay, so the reason why I want to highlight that is because I just did a video yesterday, guys, highlighting how Cam Newton just got hired on ESPN First Take. And people were saying that Stephen A. Smith made that move. The reason why they're saying that is because Cam Newton was shouting Stephen A. Smith out before he got hired. And this is what Cam Newton said, giving Stephen A. Smith a shout out, telling ESPN to pay Stephen A. Smith his money.
Their ESPN contract
is
what we're told up next year. And the word on the street is that you want something in the range of $100 million for 5 years.
I'm not getting specific as it pertains to numbers because only a fool discusses his own negotiations while negotiating. Pay attention to the industry. See what people are getting paid. Dak Prescott just signed a contract for $240 million. He's making $60 million a year. He made sure to get...
I know, he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
Who has won 2 playoff games in 8 years. I've been number 1 for 12. I'm sorry. In our respective industries, I win. and I'm fully aware of what I'm worth. And I will never apologize to that for anybody.
Well, say that then, Stephen. That man, fuck that. Hey, you know your worth. Pay the man. He worth every damn dollar. Because you don't get to be in a position where you can control and dictate shit and be modest. This shit ain't disrespectful. He's speaking facts. So I'm seeing a different version of Stephen A. Being that he has his own podcast. Because for so long we haven't been able to go direct to consumer. It has been linear, polished.
I gotta ask you, what about his comparison with Dak? Like,
You can't get mad. Did Dak catch a stray? Yes.
Yes.
Stephen A., if that's what you want, my boy. Big toes pointed east and west.
say what now?
Stand on business.
Come on.
So with Cam Newton shouting Stephen A. Smith out before the news had broke about him being on First Take, which as you guys can see right here, this is Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, and Cam Newton on ESPN First Take. Man, they were talking about some football. Of course, you know that's the reason why they hired Cam Newton. Stephen A. Smith is trying to create this roster now for NFL because we know that's one of the things Stephen A. Smith is trying to renegotiate in his contract. He wants to cover more NFL, even though the guys on ESPN Monday Night Football said they don't want Stephen A. Smith over there trying to turn ESPN Monday Night Football into First Take. We did a video on that as well. And if you guys missed these videos that I'm talking about, I'll have the link to those videos down below in the comment section. So with Cam Newton giving Stephen A. Smith that shout out, and obviously he's right here on First Take, people were saying in my comment section like, yo, Stephen A. Smith backstabbed Kimberly Martin because he's the reason why Cam Newton is over there at ESPN in the first place. Because we know Stephen A. Smith controls everything at ESPN, especially what goes on at First Take, and Cam Newton got directly hired to be on First Take. It's not like Cam Newton just got hired by ESPN to start working on their other little shows like NBA Countdown or Get Up or whatever other show that comes on ESPN2 or anything like that. Like Cam Newton skipped all of that and he is right there with the big dogs, as you can see, talking live football with the crowd. So that lets you know how much respect Stephen A. has for Cam Newton to even have Cam Newton on their live platform to talk football like that. So yeah, guys, do you guys think Stephen A. will have Kimberly Martin and Cam Newton sit alongside each other to debate football? Clearly because Kimberly Martin thinks Cam Newton is a scrub.
Like, give me a break. I'm just so, like, honestly, like, move past the outfit for a second. He literally said, in the year of 2023, where it's all about NFL backups, where is Cam? Not on an NFL roster, right? So he's talking about all these NFL game managers. He sounds like the people literally tweeting at me from their basement, like, get back in the kitchen. Like, it's like you are at home watching me. Like just turn the TV off.
Probably
like,
in the kitchen.
Like, it just sounds so foolish.
Okay, that's it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate you guys for doing that. Catch you guys on the next one. And we out, guys. Peace.